Myself, this is Rakesh Kumar from Samastipur, Bihar. I am teacher of maths and my qualification is BSc B.Ed. I have 6 year experience in CBSE school of grade 7 to 10th. Today I am here start topic quadratic equation which is of class 10th 4th chapter, which is quadratic equation, a portion of algebra. So let us start here quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. See, first of all we know that quadratic. In the previous chapter, all of you know that quadratic means all of you know about quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial means polynomial having degree 2, and all of you know about the degree. Degree means the polynomial having highest power of variable is known as degree. So if any polynomial having a power 2 is known as quadratic polynomial, and if we equate the polynomial equal to 0 is known as quadratic equation. First of all, here you see equation. Equation means we can say any expressions if containing equality symbol, then it means we can say that it is an equation. For an example, see 2x plus 3, it is an expression. If we put here symbol equal this equal 0 or any real number, then we can say it is the equation. It is the equation. Then first we here start quadratic equation. So we write here the first definition of quadratic equation. So all of you know the quadratic polynomial. What is the general form of quadratic polynomial? Ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are real number and a does not equal to 0 is known as quadratic polynomial. If we equate quadratic polynomial to 0, then we get the quadratic equation. So write first the definition. The equation is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal 0, where a, b and c are real number and a does not equal to 0 is called quadratic equation in x. In x means here variable is x and a, b, c are real number. All of you know real number means rational and irrational both is known as real. So see, why a not equal to 0? A not equal to 0 because if a becomes 0, then this first terms we are getting 0. If these terms 0 means we are getting these linear equation. So after removing first term here, these are not in the quadratic form. That's why we can say here a does not equal to 0. Then next we are taking one example here. See 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equal 0. Now see here 2, 3 and 5 are real number. X squared here which is the variable? X having power 2 and here x having power 1. So see which is the highest power? So power highest is 2. That's why we can say these are in the form of quadratic equation having variable x and highest power is 2. So it is the example of quadratic equation. Now next topic is a standard form. A standard form of quadratic equation. A standard form of quadratic equation means that form we can say these are in the form of quadratic equations. We have given different equations and we are to identify which are in the quadratic equation. In the MCQ questions, every time board ask that type of questions. Identify which of the following is a quadratic equation. For this standard, which is the standard form? So see here, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. These are the standard form. These are the standard form. If we write this as ax square plus bx equal c, then it is not in the standard form. It is not in the standard form. It is also quadratic equation, but not in the standard form. Not in a standard form. But these are the quadratic equation in a standard form. A standard form. Now see, if we any equation compare from this term, then we can say these are in the quadratic equation. For an examples, we are giving any equations and you have to identify that these are the quadratic equation or not. And then see, after that we proceed to next topic. For an examples, we are taking here one examples. So see, then our next topic, identify which of the following are quadratic equation or not. So see here, if we have given x power 2 plus if we have given x power 2 plus 1 by x power 2 equal 3, and we have to check these are in the form of quadratic equation or not. Then see, first we solve LHS. The LCM of this is x square. Then we here what write, x power 4 plus here 1 equal 3. Then by cross multiplication, this side here 1, then we write x power 4 plus 1 is equal to 3x square. Then we solve x power 4 minus 3x square plus 1 equal 0. Now you compare this equation as ax square plus bx plus c equal 0. Then in both the equation, RHS side 0, and here see, the value of c is 1, value of b is minus 3. But here how? See here, these equation having highest power 4. So these are not in a quadratic, these are biquadratic. So these are, so here we write this is not in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equal 0. So given equation are not quadratic equation. Means this type of many questions you have given, and you have to identify first. Then what we have to do? First we have to solve the equation and then compare with the standard form of quadratic equation, and lastly we have to see if these are in the form of quadratic standard form, then we can say these are the quadratic equation, otherwise we can say these are not in the quadratic equation. So what is this? These are not quadratic equation. So after solving we see x power 4 means highest power is 4, so by quadratic, so we can say these are not quadratic. Next topic is solution of quadratic equation. See, we write here solution of quadratic equation. Solutions, and in previous chapter all of you know that we are finding the roots of the polynomial. Then what do we mean by roots? If we put alpha at the place of x, suppose if p of x equal any polynomial given, and if we put p of alpha equal to 0, we are getting p of alpha equal to 0. That means we can say alpha is the roots of the polynomial. Same way here, roots, solution and zeros, all these are same meaning. So if in any questions you have given, if you have given finding the roots of the quadratic equation, find the zeros of the quadratic equation, find the solution of the quadratic equation. So, in all the words you have not confusion, both all are same meaning. So, for this we have three methods here. First one is factorization, factorization method. Then second method is completing the square, Then third method is by quadratic formula, Quadratic formula is also known as Sridharacharya rule. It was the mathematicians that given the quadratic formula. That's why we can also say this method is also known as Sridharacharya rule. So, first of all we are taking one examples and we are finding the roots, finding the solution, finding the zeros of the quadratic equation. So, first we are taking one examples by factorization. In this method we have to split the middle term. Suppose we are giving ax square plus bx plus c equal 0. These are the quadratic equation. So, this is the first term, this is second term and this is the third term. We have to split these parts. Which parts? These parts means middle parts in two parts, such as the product of this first and third, coefficient of x square and constant term. We are getting here AC is the product and we have to finding the factor of these. We have to taken that factor whose sum either difference is equal to B and product is equal to AC. Means if we are taken P and Q are the factor, of AC, then P plus either minus is equal to B and P into Q is equal to AC. In this form we have to split. So, see we are taking one examples here. See here, we are taking one example. Example is 6x squared minus x plus 2 minus 2 equal to 0. These are the questions and you have to find the roots of quadratic equation. Find the roots of these quadratic equation by factorization method. So, see this is the first term, second term and third term. First we have to find the product of coefficient of x square and constant term. Then 6 and minus 2. 6 and minus 2. What we get? 6 into minus 2. We getting minus 12. Then we have to find the factor of 12. What is the possible factor? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. We are getting that factors. Possible factor of 12. Then these are the three pairs. We have to choose that pair whose sum is minus 1 equal to minus 1. If we are taking here minus 4 and plus 3 are the factors, then what we get? Product equal to minus 12 and difference is equal to minus 1. So, see here. We split these as 6x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 2 equal 0. And next here, see, in that term, first two term, what we have to common? Then we have to common 2x. What is common? 2x. Then we write here 2 common, then 3 left. And x common means 1x is left. Then here, what is left? Minus sign put, then 2 left. Only 2 is left here because we are taking 2x common. Then next term, these two terms we have to take in common. Then here we take plus 1 is common, plus 1 common. Then here same 3x minus 2 equal to 0. Now in these two terms 3x minus 2 is a common, 3x minus 2 common. Then here what left? 2x and plus 1 equal to 0. Now see, these are the two factors of quadratic polynomials. Then we have to equate equal to 0. Then we are getting the solution. Then see, 3x minus 2 equal 0 and 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Then solve here. 3x equal to 2, this goes RHS, then minus goes to plus. Then x is equal to 2 by 3 and see, 2x is equal to 1 minus 1, here plus, and in RHS minus 1. Then x is equal to minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2. So therefore 2 by 3 and minus 1 by 2 are the solution of quadratic of given quadratic equation. These are the first method, by factorization method. If in the board examinations you have not given any method, then you are free for finding by any method. If you have given find the quadratic equation by factorization method, otherwise completing the method square, and by quadratic formula, then you have to find by that method. So here we start next method, we proceed to next method by maybe same equations or by another equation. See, then next topic is finding the roots. Finding the roots of quadratic equation by the method of completing the square. Completing the square means first we have to make the perfect square, then we are finding the value. So suppose we are taking here this, what is the standard form? X square plus bx plus c equal 0. We taking these quadratic equation, these are the quadratic equation. Then first of all, in the first step we have here in first step we have to make the coefficient of x square is 1. What we have to do? First make the coefficient of x square equal 1. Then how we make 1? See, what is the coefficient of x square here? A. So we divide throughout the equation by a, then we are getting the coefficient of x square is a. So ax square by a plus bx by a plus c by a equal 0 by a. Then what we have to write here? Right, divide throughout the equation by a. Then see, a and a here cancel. Then what you get? X square plus b upon ax plus c upon a equal 0. 0 by a. How 0? Because we know that if 0 is divided by any number, then the result is 0. Then next here, now see, what is the coefficient of x? Then this is the coefficient of x, means b by a. Then in second step you have to do divide this coefficient of x by 2 and a square of this added to both the equation, means first see here b by a, if we divide this by 2, divide by 2, then what we get? B by a multiplied 1 by 2 means b by 2a. What we get? These terms, means adding the square of b by 2a on the both side of the equation. So see here, x square plus b by a x plus c by a plus b by 2a squared equal b by 2a square. And what we write here? We have to write here adding b by 2a square, square of b by 2a square on the both side. See, right here, adding b square of b by 2a on both sides, on both sides. Then see here, we have to arrange some terms. See here, x square plus b by ax plus b by 2a square, and this term goes to RHS. Then b by 2a square minus c by a. See here, these terms are here in positive, so in RHS goes to negative. Then see, now x square, then plus b by ax plus b by 2a square. We can write this as x square, then b by ax. Then see here, and this we write what? b by 2a square. See, if we multiply this equation, this term by 2 and divide by 2, multiplied by 2 and also divide by 2, then no changing here. So see here, if we multiplied by 2 and divide by 2 means this, then here 2 and 2 get cancelled, 2 and 2 get cancelled. Then again what we get? b by a. So here 2x means a square plus 2ab plus b square. Then what we get in LHS? In LHS we get x plus b by 2a whole square. And in RHS see here, b square by this 4a square minus c by a. In this step what? Taking common 4a square and a, LCM of 4a square and a is 4a square, 4a square. Then what we write here? b square and a means 4a into c, 4ac. And in previous chapter, all of you know b square minus 4ac is known as the discriminant and denoted as capital D. So here see, in the LHS a square are there. If we removed a square from LHS, then in RHS what we get? A square root. Then x plus b by 2a is equal to under root b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. Then see, this we can also write as equal to under root b square minus 4ac upon 2 under root 4a square means what? 2a. Now see, this is also we know write as root d upon 2a, because b square minus 4ac is equal to d. We know that from the previous chapter. Now see, here what? X plus b by 2a, this goes to RHS. Then in LHS what left here? See, here see, x is equal to root d upon 2a minus b upon 2a, minus b upon 2a. Or one thing here, if we changing the root, then here what sign here? Plus and minus both side. What here? Plus and minus both side. So if we taking here plus sign, the quadratic equation having 2 0, so we put here plus and minus both. Then what we write? X equal minus b upon 2a plus minus root d upon 2a. Then x is equal to 2a common, then minus b, if we taking what? Minus sign or plus sign, then this. And another x is equal to minus b minus root d upon 2a. Means we have to put this value. Means what is the value of a? See, if we are given equation 2x square plus 3x minus 5 equal to 0, then what is the value of a? 2, and value of b? 3, and value of c? minus 5. So also this is known as quadratic formula. Means by the completing the square, by the method of completing the square and in quadratic formula, there are very small difference, not big difference. For finding by quadratic formula, first of all we have to find the discriminant, and by this method we are not need to find the discriminant. By this way we are able to find. If we have given this, then same way, what is the value of a here? 2. Then first we have to divide throughout the equation by 2. Then next step we are getting the x square plus 3 by 2x minus 5 by 2 equal to 0. Then 3 by 2 is the coefficient of x. Then we divide by 2, means 3 by 4. Then add the square of 3 by 4 on both sides the equation. Then we are getting the value of x. Means we are getting the 2 value of x, minus b plus root d and minus b minus root d by 2a. Then we are getting the value of this. So these are the method of completing the square. Okay, we ending this chapter till here, and quadratic formula and some questions we explain in next video. So okay, thanks.